Hello, friends. Happy Earth Day. I am out in Unity's green space with behind me the flower beds and vegetable beds of our gardens, and our gardening team is just out of sight around the corner with their gardening gloves on, hard at work clearing the beds for this year's planting. And if you are a person that likes to have your hands in the dirt, I assure you there is a place for you on this team, and I encourage you to get in touch with them. There's always room for another pair of hands tending to these gardens. Today I want to talk about one of our Unitarian forebears who also liked to have his hands in the dirt and loved to observe nature. Henry David Thoreau, as you know, was one of the people in the early Transcendentalist movement who regarded nature, as the Transcendentalists did, as one of our most important teachers. And in his day, he noted that there were many white people in New England who had the idea that seeds could just spontaneously take root and sprout. This came from the fact that an oak tree, for instance, might take root and sprout far away from any other oaks, and that they had not noticed the many ways in which seeds were dispersed. So for years, Thoreau worked at dispelling this myth by carefully observing the many ways in which seeds are carried and dispersed in the natural world. And he noticed that many of these methods of dispersal went unnoticed by people who were not closely paying attention. He noticed that it could happen by wind or by water, by fire, by animal, insect, or bird. And as he noticed this, he observed it and he wrote it down, and he had over 360 pages of a manuscript making these careful observations, and in his beautiful way drawing all kinds of metaphorical observations that we might learn from the dispersal of seeds. This manuscript about the dispersal of seeds remained unfinished when Thoreau died in 1862. And it was finally the last manuscript of his to be published in 1993, as recently as that, in this beautiful volume called Faith in a Seed. It's combined with a few others of his essays, but most of this book is that manuscript, The Dispersion of Seeds. And in it, he catalogs these many ways, and he notices the beautiful fertility and abundance of the natural world, calling the earth a virtual granary of seeds. This is important, I think, in our day today, when we know that there are many new possibilities we want to see born, not only in the natural world, but in our human society. And yet we don't always pay attention to the way in which the seeds we wish to plant are dispersed. And so we follow that metaphorical thinking out and notice that there are many ways these seeds get both dispersed and cultivated, and we can participate in encouraging what is already there, an arc that bends toward justice, for instance. Thoreau says in this book, I love this beautiful quote of his. He says that we want to pay attention to nature's abundant fruitfulness and to the many ways in which we are connected to it. This is his quote, which I love so much. Though I do not believe that a plant will spring up where no seed has been, I have great faith in a seed. Convince me that you have a seed there, and I am prepared to expect wonders. Friends, we have many seeds today that need to be planted. And we know that many of them are already there in the natural world and in our communities of faith, of geography, of resistance. And we know that the arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Ours is the call to help bend that arc, to help tend those seeds, to do what we can to participate in planting and cultivating the new possibilities we wish to see. On this Earth Day, please join me in noticing the seeds already present in the earth and in our own hands, and doing what we can to disperse them, to water them, to cultivate them, and share them in the world at large. Happy Earth Day, friends. May we believe and have faith in the seeds already here in our hearts and in our world.